everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Tormenta Talk. This is the official podcast of La Tormenta, which is the official supporters group for West Texas FC out here in Midland, Texas. I am Luke McDonald. We also have Chris Haig, and we have Brian Hodnett. So, what is a supporters group? Gentlemen.
Good question. We can keep a simple answer. A supporters group is a group of soccer fans coming together in an organized way. There's a little bit more we could say probably, but really that's the main thing, is a group of fans coming together to be loud in the stands, to be organized, to make sure that support is heard and felt by the players, but coming together as a group to have fun together and support their team.
Yeah, Brian, what is it not?
Well, I guess the nice way is we're not a bunch of a-holes. We really are trying to be family friendly. We're trying to, have a good time, raise hell, drink a few beers, camaraderie, stuff like that. We don't want ugly. I don't want ugly in this group, and I think y'all concur with that. Mm-hmm. Let's go have some fun. Let's poke a little fun. Let's have a good time. But, dude, there's enough ugly in this world. It doesn't need to be in this supporters group.
Right, and that's kind of the hooliganism, right? Like the where kind of supporters group might have a bad rap for things. But it's also not exclusive, right? Like we've talked about, it's not about like you're in the club or you're out of the club. It's just a way that we can be a little bit more of a community kind of centered around something as silly as a bunch of dudes kicking around a little ball, but just a way that we can like kind of connect and hang out with other people who also like this sport. Like Chris, you and I met at a West Texas FC game, and it was actually a mozo who said, "Hey, y'all need to know each other," and we've become really good friends. And I think I'm looking forward to meeting new people and those people becoming good friends now.
Yeah, because really, I mean, it's also it's fans coming together, like I said, but it's also a social club. It's an excuse to hang out, like Brian said, have a few beers, and cheer on your favorite soccer team. And so it's part of it is just connecting in that way. And that doesn't mean if you're not part of the group or a member of the supporters group, it doesn't mean that you can't come hang out. But it means coming together and connecting with each other to build that community. One thing I noticed in the 2024 season was there were different fans around the seats kind of making their own noise over here, drums over there. But part of it, SG2, a supporters group, people come together to be a little bit more organized. Let's try to get our chants synced up and kind of be loud together. But like you said too, just connecting with others in the community and building that community in the stands.
Yeah. Yep. So the three of us kind of make up what we called the council, right? Like. And most of it was just we wanted to see this thing happen, and so we divided up some responsibilities. And so I'll turn it over to El Presidente. Brian, what do you envision like kind of the appeal of La Tormenta for someone in kind of the Permian Basin area?
Well, La Tormenta, it's something we can come together. It's almost a brotherhood, sisterhood, right? It's a group of people that share a common bond, share a common goal. We want to support West Texas FC. We have a great time doing it. We have fun. We want to support our club, support our community. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty cut and dry. Where else can you have the kind of fun that you can have like this on Saturday night for $10 a ticket? I mean, we all want to further this club, hopefully win an NPSL championship this year, maybe look at some bigger things after that. But we all want to sit there, make some noise, win, lose, or draw, and let the people know that we were there. Whether our club feels the love and warmth or the other team feels like, damn, they're loud. Wow, it's tough to play here. Wow, I don't know if I want to come back to Midland because they drown us out, anything that happens. And not negatively, we're just going to keep chanting our dudes on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an important point in it because it's easy to get into the negative, especially when it comes to kind of rivalries and things.
I wonder who you're talking
of
about.
The such. Yeah, our scarves here actually do say West Texas is the best Texas.
Facts.
And so as like a scroll.
Mm-hmm. And I would add to that
So
too, like that
yeah,
appeal. You asked about the appeal of joining La Tormenta. Like part of that is like you said on the scarves, West Texas is the best Texas. Part of the fun of coming out to a game is to just rep your community and rep your city and be proud of like this area that we live in and be proud of the team that we're supporting. And part of the appeal of joining a group in this way, one, is cool merch. You get kind of
Yeah.
cool merch and other merch to wear and to wear around town and be able to share with others. And our goal too, kind of as a social group, beyond the soccer field, beyond the stadium, maybe there's other things we do as a group. Maybe there's community projects that we can do as a group. Go out and help
Absolutely.
pick up litter on the side of the road, right? Because as this kind of social group and club, we might see each other and collaborate during our short NPSL season, but also connect throughout the year and hopefully do things around the community to make Midland a better place. Midland and Odessa and beyond, right? Throughout West
I mean,
Texas.
yep, it's all West Texas, man. I mean, think about this. We got a USA World Cup on U.S. soil coming soon. I mean, furthering soccer, making things better, promoting the idea of, hey, look, we're out for the good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The soccer's the fun part. Invest in the communities, that's long lasting stuff, man.
Yeah.
Not everybody is in tune with that. I feel like that's something big. Teaching my kids that's big, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do it as SG, as a little mini family, yeah, that's even bigger. That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right. Brian, what do you envision like some of the activities that La Tormenta will be up to?
Trouble, that's what we do. But
You just said that we were going to be nice and like family friendly.
we are. We are. It's just family friendly trouble. Well, we'll be probably there early before the games. We'll be there late after the games. Anything that can help assist the club and stuff like that. We're gonna have fun no matter what we're doing. That's gonna be the big thing. Is this? I wouldn't want to do this if it wasn't fun. I don't think y'all would either.
Right.
So I mean, I really envision us participating in the community. I really feel like like Chris said, park cleanups, highway cleanups, things like that. Stepping in, where can we help? I would like to volunteer at the soup kitchens, things like that. Anything and everything that can help the community that just costs a little bit of time. I mean, but really and truly, let's get there early. Let's be loud. Let's stay late. Congratulate our dudes. I mean,
Yeah.
this is going to be a fun season. New teams coming in, new faces. I mean, look at our potential roster we're building right now, guys. We got some dudes, right? Lubbock
Yeah.
thinks they're waving a flag about some guys. We got some dudes really
Mm-hmm.
on this team, right? So we're gonna
That's
do
right.
some celebrating. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a little choir practice that I'm calling chant practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's just have a good time with it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think we saw last year, and maybe we ought to talk about just if anyone who's new to West Texas FC, right? It's a semi-professional
Yes.
league. We are in the Lone Star division. It's mostly Texas teams, although this year we've got one team from Oklahoma and one team from is it Arkansas?
Arkansas, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so it's a small
Mhm.
division, but there's a lot of divisions in the NPSL. And
Mm-hmm.
this will be our third year in this iteration of the club. And first year, I think we kind of like surprised everybody and maybe ourselves. Just
Yeah.
we had a really, really good season.
Yes.
Finished just right off the top. And then last year, it was
We're pup
bananas.
chasing, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We were going.
We got so close. I mean, it was just a wild ride. It felt like, trying to hold on to the handlebars of the motorcycle kind of thing. It was
Mhm.
wild. And so I think this season, with that kind of stair stepping up, like I know every season isn't just going to be gangbusters, right? Like every
Mm-hmm.
club has their kind of peaks and valleys. But all we've seen is this sharp trajectory upward, and I hope that continues for a very long time. And
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to believe it won't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look at who we got. Scotty's coming back.
Yep.
I feel really good about where we're going to be, man. I really do feel like, sky's the limit here. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
And
Oklahoma
Scotty
thinks they're going to
is the coach. Yeah.
Yep, Scotty's
I
our head
just was
coach. Was the
pointing out
assistant
Scotty's
last
our
year.
coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oklahoma thinks they're going to take something. Lubbock thinks they're going to take something. Man, I'm feeling good about West Texas FC and hoisting even another cup and another one after that. So,
Mm-hmm.
And maybe on par with the cup is the El Destico Trophy, which
Yeah.
currently resides at
boom.
Tall City Brewery, which every
Mm-hmm.
time you go in, it's just sitting there proudly right as you walk in to the left.
Yeah, it
So,
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have a reason to leave. It should be
Exactly.
staying there.
Two,
yeah,
two things that I would add too. One, I feel the same way. We're on that upward trajectory. We're going to keep getting better and have an awesome season. But part of what's exciting about La Tormenta and kind of organizing as fans too is like no matter what happens, we're going to be there. We're going to be
yeah,
there, loud and proud, no matter what. And
Yep.
and we all, the three of us, and probably a lot of the people who are going to be interested in who are interested in West Texas FC and are going to be interested in La Tormenta, watch European soccer as well. And you see those
yeah,
fans who are there, game in, game out, proud of their team and proud of their city. And so that's part of our group's goal as well. Is like no matter what happens, we're there to be loud and to be proud.
yeah. I
And
mean, Brian's a Manchester United fan.
then
Okay. The low blows can stop. Yeah, Liverpool sneaking by in the Champions League today. I mean, just
Mhm.
barely getting
Oh,
there.
you mean the best goalkeeping performance on record? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody watched it for a reason. But yeah,
Yep.
as a Man U fan, I mean, there's plenty of supporters groups out there that stand and just cheer and chant and rant and rave, and
Mhm.
that's what I want us to be.
Yeah,
Look, we have a new head coach, we have new players. We can't 100% expect that we're going to exceed last year's season. Don't care. I want us to, but you know what? 90 minutes plus, we're in the stands, we're having a good time, we're making noise,
Yeah.
we're supporting the club.
Yep.
yeah,
That's the business. That's what we do. Before the match, after the match, during the week, we support West Texas FC. Good, bad, ugly.
Mhm.
yeah. So,
And
Chris,
yeah,
La Tormenta, can
yeah,
and I know you got something else to say, but I'm curious if you could take the name for us, being our resident Spanish speaker.
absolutely. Yeah. So La Tormenta, for those that don't know, La Tormenta is the storm. Um, Here in West Texas, we know that that can mean a big dust storm,
All
like the
week.
wind we've had recently, or in the spring, it can mean a storm that whips up, the thunderstorms that
Yep.
come through in the spring. Last year, we had some games that got kind of delayed or moved back because of those big spring thunderstorms. So, yeah, La Tormenta for us represents that this big storm that's coming across the desert and comes into town, and we want to embody that in the stands. That storm of energy and our group there supporting the team in the same way. So, yeah.
That's good. Were you going to say something else? I didn't
Yeah,
mean to cut you
I
off.
was going to make one other point going back a little bit. We were talking about the activities that like our group
Oh,
might
yeah, yeah,
kind of do in the stadium, outside of the stadium, and all of that. One thing I was going to mention is like if you're interested in joining La Tormenta, if you want a scarf, maybe that's all you want, which is totally fine. There's like no
yeah,
obligation. So
Yep.
in terms of
yeah,
support, in terms of joining a supporters group, the only obligation is you support West Texas FC and you want to make a really good, vibrant atmosphere at the stadium. But there's no obligation in terms of like you have to sit in a certain spot or you have to do this or that or put in this amount of time. Nothing like that. But we do have those other things that we want to do to try to connect and build that community.
yeah. And technically, I mean, you don't even have to. You can just go sit in the stands and watch the game, and
Mm-hmm.
be a member
Yeah.
of the supporters group, right? Like, I mean, we
Yep.
basically talked about we do want some ability to kind of have some buy-in and for the club to be able, I mean, the supporters group to be able to do some things like throw some great tailgates, to do some things in the community, to have some merch. It's not like we're going to like try to build up some nest egg of funds just to
No.
have or anything like that. But
Yeah.
so essentially, in signing up, there's a fee included. Yeah, I think it's a pretty reasonable fee, and it'll be an annual membership. And then there is a code of conduct that basically says you're just not going to be a jerk. We're not going to put up with it. And really, outside of those two things, kind of paying the dues, saying I want to support what the group supports, and I'm not going to be a jerk. Like that's pretty much what we ask, right? And everything else is totally optional. We'll be, in a tight group so that we can be louder and organize some chants. But man, if you and your kids, if that's just too much stuff, if you don't want to be around the drum or whatever, like no hard feelings. Like sit where you can enjoy the game and support the club as best you can, right?
Yep. Yeah. Get in where you fit in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like you said, like to become a member, there's a small fee that we'll share more info about. And for clarity's sake, we're setting this group up as a nonprofit, right? It's not about making any money for anybody or anything like that. Setting things up as a nonprofit. And so we want to use those funds that do come in to help organize this group and put it towards events that we can put on, that type of thing. And becoming an early member, that means that you get to help out with creating what this looks like. We're going to be looking for board members early on. We're going to be looking for like membership and people who can help us kind of create this vision of what does this group become.
Yeah. So I guess, Brian, from the standpoint of kind of like the person who really doesn't know exactly why they would join something like this, like I'm curious, just you personally, why did you want La Tormenta or a supporters group for West Texas FC? Why do you want that personally?
I wanted something different. I mean, y'all been to Friday Night Lights football games. Y'all been to baseball games, Rockhounds, everything else, right? Where's their SG? Y'all been to professional. Chris, you're Verde. I mean, the first time I saw the supporters group for Austin, I was like, I want that.
Yeah.
The ones I saw for San Antonio FC, I said, I want that. It's something special about having this group of crazy people that are full of pride but have no shame. We're going to get up, we're going to jump, we're going to make noise, we're going to have a great time, act a fool, and, have a great time laughing about it and talking about it the next day. This, to me, it's something to show my kids. Like, look, you can be outside of the box. You can have fun with this. Soccer is a great sport that allows things like this. It's not uptight. It's not baseball. We're not golf. You don't have to. No, bring the noise. Let's go. Dos cero. Bring it. Let's go. Loud. Let's run it again. Let's run it down. That's what I wanted, man. That's what I see. When we talked about this in the initials, I really just wanted to have more fun. It was fun doing this the last season. It was fun doing it the first season. Now, organizing, oh, man. This is going to be the blast. This is going to be, season 3 is going to be the best season yet.
Yeah, and Chris, you are an active member of Los Verdes, which is the Austin FC supporters group. I'm curious, what did, your time doing that, what did you get out of that?
Yeah, so Los Verdes is one of several Austin FC supporters groups, but it's the largest just in terms of membership. The biggest thing that I got out of it was the community, right? You connect with all these other fans, and ironically, like I actually connected with people from Los Verdes during COVID and just connected online and was in those kind of early stages of connecting with people and getting that group established. But I've met a lot of people that now when I go to games, I know people I'm going to find and go stand with, because tickets there are all general admission in a certain section, kind of like our West Texas games. So it's a community of people to hang out with before, during, after the games. And that's really the biggest thing for me. And like Brian was saying, like a community of people to get loud with, to celebrate goals with, and to just have a lot of fun. And my scars are evidence of it. I've gone to a lot of soccer games in a lot of different places, including South America. And as a traveler and visitor of some of those games, like I didn't know those groups, but I always stood there in the stands and I looked down at the other end of the stadium and I thought, man, that's where I need to be. That's where everybody's having a lot of fun. And so that's what we want to create too, is like have that, we're going to be loud, proud, just like Brian said. And that's where we want everybody to come, whether you're sitting in that section or not, but just having fun at the games.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like what you said, Brian, about the a lot of pride and very little shame. I know that was something that we picked up from the Mozos, who, huge credit to those guys. I know they're our rivals, but
Mhm.
but man, those guys sat down with us over a beer and gave us kind of a really great lesson in kind of how they did what they're doing, and it's a good representation of what we want to do, right? Because we rib each other on social media, and we will at games, but we also like those guys. They're just cool
Mhm.
guys, and it's fun to hang out, and it's fun to like rib your buddy about their team and your team, just like Brian and I were doing just a second ago, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of like camaraderie and being friends and all that, which is why I want this, because I've been a Liverpool fan for 20 years, never been to a game, and don't really know many fans. And so when West Texas FC came along, it started out just a way for me to watch soccer in person because I don't get to do it that much. It's all on TV. And then when I found another human being in the flesh that I could talk to
Mhm.
about the games, then it became that next level of something that was much, much deeper, much, much more profound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's turned into something really fun. And even if I would have just met you two guys, and we text all week long, and it's just a really great friendship that I've gotten to have just because West Texas FC exists. And
Yeah.
so if I can amplify that and provide something like that for other people to be able to connect, they move to town from Houston or wherever, and they're soccer fans, like they can find their people really quickly and easily. And
Mhm.
I really love that idea. And it
Yeah.
surprised me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chris, the people we met over at the brewery the other night,
Yeah.
Scotland, I think, is where you said they were from.
Yeah. Yeah. He was from Scotland. Exactly.
I mean,
Tartan Army.
sitting
Yeah.
there asking about when's the next match, when do we start, and I
Mhm.
was like, these are people we want. These are the
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
people that, I mean,
And
if
that's
you don't know soccer, we want you to. I was that
exactly.
Hmm.
guy. I didn't know soccer 5 years ago, knew nothing. Didn't ever think I'd be sitting here with a scarf
Yeah.
leading a supporters group, right?
That's exactly what I was going
Yeah.
to say too. Like that's one of the things that what's been awesome in Austin. It brings together soccer fans, but a lot of people join this group. They're new to soccer, and and
Mhm.
and so that's our goal as well, to like find those soccer fans who, like Luke said, watch soccer at home on Saturday and Sunday morning on TV, soccer that's thousands of miles away in Europe.
Yep.
Connect those fans to watch in person, but also just connect people who want to come out and have a fun time, and then learn the game of soccer as well. Like that's
Yeah.
that's our goal, is just grow that community.
No
Love it.
doubt. Well, gentlemen, we, as of the date that this is going to air, are an official supporters group,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to personally thank both of you for all the hard work I know it's taken to get to this point. And I really appreciate you guys being here in order to make this thing happen, because I am going to be the biggest beneficiary from the existence of something like this, and I'm excited to see kind of what happens and just kind of how it grows. And I cannot wait for that first game, which we've got players now, and we'll be doing more of these podcasts. We'll get into the nitty gritty of the league. We'll get into the nitty gritty of the players as we announce people. Hopefully, we can maybe have some of them on the podcast, and the coach. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun ride. So I'm glad you guys are here.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude. Couldn't do this without y'all. I mean, trust me. One guy in the front row screaming doesn't put a supporters group together, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Y'all are making this thing go.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest of the people out there are other ones. Hell, our two first founding paid members are under 13 and under. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, man, this is a family thing too. I mean, y'all,
Right.
like, children, adults, elderly, come on, let's go. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Mm-hmm.
just want to go out and have a good time and be part of something, this is what we want to be.
Well, and
And
like Chris said, it's
appreciative
not
for
only
all of y'all.
Yeah, and it's not only to be a part of something; it's to define what the thing is itself, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we've put some very wide lanes in place, but
Mm-hmm.
what we can do as a group is going to be largely defined by the people who jump in the group with us, because it's every bit as much theirs as it is ours.
Yeah.
This is a thing built by the community, for the community, run by the community, and
Mm-hmm.
we're willing to kind of like, you know, push it down the hill. But once it's going, like it's nobody's thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
all of
Yeah.
our thing, right?
Well, and that's what's so cool about Luke, your Liverpool experience, and Chris, your Austin and South America. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all the football experience that you have. I mean, you guys know the sport. You guys know SG. You know, this all come together is almost the perfect storm, if you will. You know, but
Nice.
yeah, I didn't try that at all before we started the podcast. But
That's good.
dude, it's great, man. I mean, look at where we're going. I can only imagine looking back a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and seeing where West Texas FC has gone and see how we've evolved as a group.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and that's exciting.
All right, so-
too. It's awesome to be here and exciting to start this on these early days. But yeah, we don't know where it's going to go. But 2025 is going to have a lot to offer. The season's going to be a lot of fun. I'm like super excited to just see how this group grows as we gain new members.
Absolutely.
All right, so here's how you become a member. Go to latormentasg.com and you'll find everything you need there. We have a Discord channel that is just kind of all over the place as far as conversations and stuff. You don't have to be a member to be on that Discord. There are going to be some members only things in there, but if you're just wanting to chat soccer in general, you can go there, or if you just want to go see what's going on with the team, we post updates. And then also, if you want to be a member, there's going to be a way to kind of officially become a member on that website as well. So just go to latormentasg.com. And, or if you have questions, like that Discord's a really great place to ask some of those questions. We're working on an app. There's all sorts of fun things coming down the pipe. But going to the website as of right now is kind of the best way to take the next step if any of this sounds fun or interesting. And if you're on the Discord, at least you'll know when the tailgates are and the watch parties. So, I mean, that's worth the price of admission going to a website anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the big questions in the beginning. Do we, with Fort Worth opening match, watch party? What are we doing?
Yep. And all those details will be coming out. So, until next time, gents, y'all have a great evening, and we're off. We're taking off.
All right. See you next time.